Hi everyone, myself CodeTav. So welcome to CodeTav Management. So today we will learn about a very important topic, the Spring AOP. Clear? So what is this Spring AOP is? I have written separation of cross-cutting concerns. So one of the key components of Spring framework is the aspect-oriented programming, the AOP framework. So aspect oriented programming entails like breaking down the program logic into distinct parts. Okay. In this way, we'll break down so that it will be easy to do our programming during a project. So it's nothing but a programming paradigm used to handle cross-cutting concerns. And I'm again and again I'm just pointing out this cross-cutting concerns. What are those cross-cutting concerns that I have also written here? That logging, security, transactions, exception handlings, these are the cross-cutting concerns, right? So we are separating these cross-cutting concerns from the main business logic. So in simple terms, AOP allows us to add extra behavior like logging, security, transactions without modifying the actual business code. So instead of like this logging, security, transactions, these things are required in many services. Like when we write our logic, if we will again concentrate on those topics, then it will be time consuming, it's a hectic, right? So that's why we have separated out. So we define it once and apply it whatever, like wherever it will require, right? So cross-cutting concerns are functionalities that are required across multiple parts of an applications. That's why I have told this logging, security transactions, exception handling, those will require in many places. So are like before the Spring AOP, what was the problem? So without AOP, these concerns are repeated in multiple classes. So which leads to code duplication and messy code. Right here, I have also written this code duplications, hard to maintain, messy code. Right. So suppose user service is there. We have two methods, login, logout. Now, in the login method, you can see there is logging, security, business logic, and inside the logout also there is logging, security, business logic. So code duplication occurring, hard to maintain, messy code is happening. So that's why what we are doing as per our solution, what we have done, we have separated out the business logic of this user service. Then on top of this user service, we have maintained the logging, we have maintained the transactions outside, we have maintained the security also outside, right? And we will apply these things in every services whatever we will use during our project. So that's why this blocks we will write once and we will apply in multiple services. Got it, right? Now come into the core AOP concepts. So there are some core topics. Suppose first one you can see as aspects. What I have written here. So aspect is class containing extra logic. What is this extra logic? So a module which has a set of APIs providing cross-cutting requirements. For example, a logging module I have already added here that would be called AOP aspect for logging. An application can have any number of aspects depending on the requirement. So that is the concern of the aspects. Next point is join point. So what is this join point? So join point is nothing but the method execution point. You can see Suppose this is the method, then we are executing the method. So that's the point, actually, method execution point. And after this, on this method, advice runs will be applicable. So join point represents a point in your application where you can plug in the AOP concept. Okay. So you can also say it is the actual place in the application where an action will be taken using Spring AOP framework. Next is advice. So advice, this is the actual action to be taken either before or after the method or during the method execution. So this is the actual piece of code. So this is the main crucial part. Okay. So that is invoked during program execution by the Spring AOP framework. And next is point cut. So what is this point cut? So this is a set of one or more join points where an advice should be executed. So you can specify point cuts using expressions or patterns as we will see during our AOP example. Okay. Next also we have the introduction, target object, weaving. Those parts are there. But these four are the main parts actually. But I will tell you what is the introduction is. So introduction allows you to add new methods or attributes to existing classes. Clear? Then comes one another thing is target object. What is this target object? So target object is basically the object being advised by one or more aspects. So this object will always be a proxied object, also referred to as the advised object. Clear? Next is weaving. So what is this weaving? So weaving is nothing but a process of linking the aspects with other application types or objects to create an advised object. So this can be done at compile time or load time or the run time as well. So this three are also covered. Okay, introduction, target object or the advised object and the weaving. Okay, and the main core concepts are aspect, join point, advice, point cut. Clear? Now I have added the uh, AOP flow diagram. So what it tells to you? So you can see from this diagram that one client is there, then proxy, AOP, and then target method. Okay, but along with that, in the method actually, you will have the before method, before and after. That's also I have told you. I will discuss again here as well. Okay. Anyway, so AOP uses the proxy to intercept method calls. Right. Now, the things I was talking about, the before, after, and around. Okay. So, but here I will tell you the AOP annotations. What are the annotations we use during our Spring AOP in our project? So first of it is the aspect. So what aspect does that I have also told you. So through the aspect annotations, you will call the aspect, right? So so it marks a class as an aspect. So suppose this is a class component. We have annotated with the component for the logging aspect. We also annotated with the aspect. So we have marked the class as an aspect. And for aspect, I have already told you that this is the module which will provide the cross-cutting requirements. So this is the logging module. As the logging aspect you can see. So this will call the AOP aspect for logging purpose, right? Next is before. So what does it? So it runs before the method execution. So we will add this before annotations, execution of, like, we will specify the method name. So before this method execution, we will do the following. So that's why before method execution. Next is after. So in the same way it runs after method execution. Okay. So we'll like specify the name of the method from any service, and after of this method execution we will follow these steps. Then around, it runs before and after method executions. So that means before of the method execution also we will run, and after of the method also we will run. So that's why you can see that's the join point here. So, join point I have already told you. So this is a point through that we will confirm that before or after of it we need to apply the aspect, right? So that's why this is the around method. And here before this method executions we will just printing this before method, and after that we will print this after method. Clear? Okay. So logging example, as an example, just I will tell you, like all service methods require this logging automatically, like through the, that's why we through the SLF 4J we can apply that one, right? That's come in the logging aspect itself. So logging aspect applies to service layer, right? So what we will do, we will just annotate it with aspect, right? Then we will annotate a component. Okay. Then the public class, like something logging aspect. Okay. Then inside that class, we have a suppose a one method, one method will be suppose there. One method will be there. Inside that, we can have some printing things, or some logics, business logics we can add. Okay, very well. And just before of it, like before this method we can apply this before, and there we can specify that before this one we will apply this thing. Clear? Like log before, log after, like that we can do that very well. So for real life example I have added this example. So this is like airport security check, then passenger and flight. So security will be like the aspect oriented programming, and flight is your business logic. So security check at airport, every passenger goes through it, and but it is separate from the flight system, right? So the security is not under your flight. So before to go inside flight, you have the security check. So in that same way, in our program as well, before our business logic, we will do the security checks and all. Clear? In this way, I just give you the example of the real life analogy. Okay. So now, as part of the summary, like what we have discussed, what are the important parts for your interviews? That's why we have made one summary here. So what it tells, see, like AOP separates the concerns. What are the concerns I have told you, like the logging, exception handling, then the security, those things. So in this way, it reduces the code duplication. It improves the maintainability, and around is most powerful. That's the important question, like how we can use the around annotations. Okay. And uses proxy internally. Okay. So it reduces the code duplications. So AOP allows adding the extra behavior to code without modifying the code. Clear? Okay. In next lecture as well, I will explain more about the Spring AOP, more topics I will cover. Okay, so till now, that's all. Thank you everyone. Do like, share, and subscribe as much as possible. And if you have not visited my earlier lectures on the Spring Boot or Spring concepts, then you can go to the playlist and search. You can see those lectures to build the concept clear. Okay, and I think it will be helpful for your future interviews and all. Okay, so do like, share, and subscribe to motivate me. Okay, and we will discuss more and more topics in upcoming lectures. Thank you, everyone. So stay tuned.